how to turn your idea into a startup company. Now, after winning grants from Resolution for our bamboo project, Pura Vida, many youth with great ideas have contacted me to know how to write a successful grant proposal and find grants to help them get started. Now, these episodes will answer questions, and also during this time, I will also get in touch with different professors and experts in a related field to give you their take on what you can do to have a successful grant at the end of these episodes. Now, remember, these episodes are for people who have never had a business or starting from scratch. Now, to start, let's define a few words in the context of this video. The first one is a grant. A grant is a sum of money given to an organization or individual to address a problem, or a need in the community. A proposal is a written document prepared to apply for funding. A donor is an individual or organization that provides funding. And an impact is a long-term result or effect of the activities undertaken in the project. Now, an indicator is a result which proves the success of the project. An objective is specific target to achieve within a stipulated time. An innovation is using new ideas or approaches to solve an existing problem. Now, more terms will be defined later in the video, but let's talk about key points in general, or an outline of a successful proposal. First, start with a specific problem found in your community or area of interest. To find out, you need to ask questions like, what are people saying they don't like? What are people wishing it existed? What frustrates them? What is inconveniencing them? What is their pain? Now, when we start the step-by-step process, we shall look at more problem statement in depth, and then explain that in detail. Step 2, describe what you hope to achieve. For example, if this problem is solved, people will grow this, people will restore that, people will earn this, all people will stop being lonely. Then measure in terms of output and outcomes. An output leads to an outcome, meaning an output is the result of activities in your project, and outcomes are the result of output. We shall look at better examples later in the next video. Step 3, design your project. Now, in this step, you know where you are and where you ought to be. Then choose the best path to take you there. How can you do that? Talking to experts and listening to their opinion. Your professors, your local leaders, they will give you opinions, and then you will write them down. Tell them we have this problem and we want to be there. How do we do that? Then they will give you their opinions. And then 2, research what others have done in the past to address a similar project. Then this involves also stakeholders, getting letters of recommendation, support letters, commitment letters, and all that. In the end, clearly describe your solution. It is advised to write both technical and lay-terms solutions. But now, remember, when you're with people who understand technical terms, numbers, graphs, and all that, please do just that. And when you're with people who want simple stuff, do that. Now, coming up is how to locate funding sources and key points to remember when writing a successful proposal. I'm your host, Pedrito, and see you after the break. Step 4, locate funding sources. You have the solution and you want to get started. Start with organizations or people you know that have funded similar projects in the past, or that are active in your geographic area. 2, research funders on the internet, for example NGOs, local governments, state and so on. Then contact the grant programmer, and then they leave their contacts there. Involve him, ask him questions, share with him updates on what you're doing, so that he can guide you on how to successfully write your proposal. Also, you have a written description of your project, your problem and outcomes, activities. Also, use a checklist to make sure your application is complete. Consult with professionals or experts, experienced people to read through what you have written. Then ask 1 or 2 people who don't have anything, who have not been involved with the process, to read through. Finally, meet the deadline, because missing one will most likely eliminate your chances of being funded. Now note, when choosing a business, please consider scalability. If you want to grow big in 2, 3, 10 years, then you choose something which is scalable, that affects a big group of people. A restaurant is not scalable, but a franchise is scalable. A demonstration farm to teach for a fee is limited in the number of people you can teach per day, per month, per year, but teaching them online is scalable. A software and application and so on, they are very scalable. Now, access to your solution, you don't always have to be there. You have to delegate work. If possible, make it automatic, so that you're sleeping and people are accessing your material. For Reviewta Media, I'm your host, Peter Okage Pedrito. Remember to subscribe our YouTube channel and also like us on social media. Bye.